Hi guys, this is Zach from Watches on You, and today I'm going to be taking a look at the Rolex Submariner reference 126618LB. Now, this is the new 41mm update to the solid gold Rolex Submariner, with the previous models having the 40mm cases. So the main differences in this, it really has the same changes that were made to all the other Rolex models with the introduction of the 41mm case, which is an updated movement and obviously a change in the case size. So I'm going to go into the case first, and this watch, as you can obviously see, has a solid Rolex gold case that is absolutely stunning. I mean, the heft of this, if you haven't held a gold watch with a bracelet, it's really an experience that you need to try out because they feel absolutely amazing. They're super hefty, and it's just great, I have to say. Especially Rolex models with the Oyster bracelets being pretty hefty bracelets themselves in general. With solid gold, it's just a whole nother level. So the case dimensions, however, so it's the new 41mm case, which really is actually slightly under 41mm. So the difference I really don't notice a difference in diameter between this and the previous Submariner. I actually would say that this watch wears smaller, which is due to the thin lugs. So as you can see, if you compare it, if you've seen the previous Submariner, you can tell that these lugs are significantly thinner than the previous model. And I think that makes a massive difference in wearability, much more so than the change in diameter of the case. So I would say that this actually is more open to people with smaller wrist sizes than the previous model, despite its numerical case size increasing. So beyond that, it has a changed movement. So the new movement is the Rolex 3235, and this offers essentially the main difference you're going to notice is a 70-hour power reserve up from the standard 40. So this is going to significantly increase your power reserve, allowing you to really go 3 days without winding the watch, as opposed to the standard 2. Which I think that is a very welcome change, as I will always take longer power reserves because generally, especially if you get to the level of buying solid gold watches like this, you're going to have multiple watches. So being able to rotate them in and out and not have to wind them in between wearing is always a massive plus. So now I'm going to move on to a wrist shot. So on the wrist, again, the heft is the thing you'll notice with this, which is simply due to its solid gold case. Despite having a gold case, which softer metal, you still get the 300-meter water resistance, and you have the same kind of professional qualifications of the standard steel model, which is great. But on the wrist, you definitely feel that heft of the gold. I think it's very comfortable, though. The Oyster bracelet is just absolutely fantastic. It's super sturdy, no hair pulling at all. The comfort level is really second to none in the sports watch market. The thickness is great. It's at about 13 millimeters, but also a lot of the thickness is in the case back, so it wears even thinner than that. I mean, you can see right there. No issues wearing this under a shirt cuff whatsoever. You have a great clasp as well. It has the glide lock clasp system, which allows you to pull the link down, and then you can adjust it using these different ratchets, doing little small incremental changes to the bracelet just on the fly. I really like that because then if your wrist changes size over time, you can just simply change it yourself with no tools. You don't have to bring it to an AD or anything. It's just ready to go right there. So now I'm going to discuss the price on this watch. So this watch comes in at a brand new price of $37,950. However, you're not going to be able to find this new in a Rolex dealer anywhere. The demand for Rolex sports models in both steel and gold is just absolutely crazy. So the wait lists are ridiculous, and you're really going to have to probably, if you're a normal collector, going to have to look at getting these on the secondhand market. So going on the secondhand market, these are this watch retails here at Wixon Jewelers. I would like to thank them for lending us this watch for the purpose of this review. It's selling for $54,900. So that price is definitely a lot higher than the retail, but it's just a testament to the demand that Rolex has, and that's what they're able to offer. I do think, just comparing it to other watches, I think that even that high price isn't actually that ridiculous. It doesn't have, and I want to clarify that with, if you're going based on sheer watchmaking quality, yes, it is not worth that price. But offering if you compare it to other sports watches with solid gold cases, there isn't really much another watch that offers kind of the flash of a solid gold Rolex. And if that's really the only way to get that, then it's kind of justified. I definitely think that the markups are a bit ridiculous on all Rolexes, and that the fact that you have to pay so much more over retail for these watches is insane right now. But I think if you still compare it to other watches around it and just the watch market as a whole, you're still getting, I think, more from this than other solid gold watches on the market, because really the market for that every watch is selling above retail now. That's basically remotely desirable historically. So that's kind of my thoughts. Please let me know what you guys think in the comments. I will say I absolutely love the blue dial on this. I think that the Rolex blue bezels and blue dials against the yellow gold just look absolutely stunning. I'm a big fan of the white gold models as well, which do offer you the blue bezel. And I think that they're obviously a lot more understated. So I personally like that aspect, where a lot of people would not be able to tell that you're not wearing a steel watch. It's kind of stealth wealth, if you will. But I think that this blue dial is absolutely stunning with the sunray against the yellow gold. I think that it just pairs beautifully, and has on previous models as well. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. I would like to thank once again, Wixon Jewelers in Bloomington, Minnesota, for letting us this watch for the purpose of this review. And then remember to like, subscribe, and share. Thanks.